we're going to start with the Innovation Award. And Waleed, would you please come up here? CCC has been working on an extremely large project, an extremely complex project, and we sent the application to a judging panel. And just to let everybody know, what we did when we were judging is we used different judges for every one of the project-based awards so that there wouldn't be any bias. I'm going to give Waleed a couple of minutes to kind of tell us about the project. Oh, thank you. To tell us about the project and the thing that makes it innovative. I mean, what the heck? It's just a giga project. It's only multiple billions of dollars. But when our judging panel saw it, they said, this is different, this is new, this is exciting, and we think they should win the award. So I'm going to hand it over to Waleed and have him spend a couple of minutes just kind of telling us.
Yeah, we have to make sure.
Okay, thank you, Lord. So basically, the Northfield East project is not only a giga project, but it's very complex. And as I said today in my session, part of the panelists, that the consideration that has to be taken into account whenever you engage of something of that large scale. We had to basically go all out of way, think about outside the box, and most importantly is redefine of how we do business. And definitely going into the concept of AWP and redefining the digital framework was an excessive effort that needed to be catered by all stakeholders and to have a collaborative approach. But this, in order to establish it, required so many help from various stakeholder party and definitely a partnership into technology and consultancy that we were able to achieve in the last 3 years. And this I demonstrated in my breakout session, specifically alliance with the ConstructX team and specifically WorkPax was a big add-on to have jointly through the last period to reach where we are now. And definitely we still have a huge amount of effort, but definitely we evolved and we're learning as we go. So definitely, thank you, Lloyd, for basically the award on the behalf of CCC. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Waleed. And this project required, what, 16, 18 hours to get you here? So we appreciate you taking the time. One of the things that I think is important is these awards are part of the what does good look like. It's part of us doing things in a way that's going to bring up the industry and do things better. So this particular project, big, complex, logistical challenges, but I think it's an example of what we should be aspiring to. Now I'm going to switch to the individual awards. And Afolabi from Bechtel has won the award, but one of the things that I think you've heard us talk about is we need to have a way to grow our future leaders. And Afolabi, I think, is a classic example of what we need to do. He's been a leader. He's very heavily involved in CII. And I'd like to have Afolabi come up and just say a few words to us.
That was a much longer walk than I thought it would be. Well, say thank you to Lloyd. I think this award is more of like an encouragement to me to continue to chase my AWP dream. And my AWP dream really is a job site where there's complete clarity in scope, right? There is no misconceptions about the data points. The database is completely populated. We have all the drawings, the 3D models, exactly how the construction people need it, right? There is breaks in concrete where we need the breaks, and everything is set up. There is complete clarity in sequence. Everybody knows what we're doing first. Everyone knows what's going on. There is complete clarity in when materials need to be on site, and we chose the right suppliers, and there's no issues. Materials on site. And execution goes flawlessly, everyone's safe, and everybody goes home after a 40-hour day, like 40-hour work week. I know we all love our overtime. We all love the money that comes with it. But I think, personally, I would love to have those hours back to go do more things and spend more time with my family and the things that we find more important. So I would like to ask everyone to kind of join me in reaching that AWP dream, right? And making it a reality. So with that, I'll say thank you.
We need to take the picture. Here we go. Thank you, Afolabi. It really is important that we take time to recognize what we're doing and who's doing it particularly well. So, we are now going to go to the North American Leadership Award. And I consider Chuck a friend, so I didn't have anything to do with his selection. We used judging panels. It was blind, so I wasn't involved, but I was really thrilled when I heard that Chuck had won. Chuck has years in the industry. He truly is a leader. He's come from the building sector, but I think he's made a huge difference in the AWP market. And I can't think of anybody, I'm sure there are some people out there, but I can't think of anybody that's been more supportive and active within CII that has worked to move forward not just a specific project, but a whole series of projects. So, it's with real pleasure that I can say, Chuck, you deserve this.
Thank you so much. I've had a very interesting journey over the last few years. I have a unique role within Autodesk. I'm given the opportunity to look at an entire ecosystem around a particular project type, work across internal boundaries, political boundaries, and just look at what it really means to approach an ecosystem. I'd worked on higher ed, healthcare, retail, and then in 2017, I was asked to look at this space called the industrial space. The first thing I did was started trying to figure out, okay, what does the ecosystem in the industrial space look like? And I was introduced to advanced work packaging, and I had no idea what advanced work packaging was. So I reached out to the person who's become my partner in crime, and if I can ask Cody Austin to stand up. And Cody's initial response was to send me RT-272 and RT-319 for some weekend reading. But then he did a very important thing, and he sent me Jeff Ryan's schedule for sale book. So Jeff, if you're in the room, thank you so much for putting AWP in plain English. And from that, I'm like, okay, we got to figure this out. So Cody and I locked ourselves in a Regis space for a couple days at the corner of JFK Boulevard and Sam Houston Tollway and started to map out what does Autodesk's role in the AWP space look like. And that started what's been a very interesting journey over the last few years. But I still needed the opportunity to learn much more about the industry And then I found CII and FIATech. And I just absolutely absorbed myself in those two organizations, met many of the people here that does that. And my final comment is I want to thank all of you. It's truly a testament to the culture of this space and this industry that someone from the buildings industry could be welcomed into the community. You answered my stupid questions. You patiently helped me learn what was happening in all of this. And nowhere, in no place in this process did I ever feel like I was an outsider working in this space. And that's a true testament to the culture around this entire space. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. So, we're now talking about the North American Award. We also have a global award. And our global award winner this year is Ted Blackman. And, oh, hold on, don't get up so quick. So you're probably going, well, you guys allocated a whole hour to giving out the awards. I knew Ted was winning one. Anyway, some things that I can comment about why Ted won the award. He started doing work-phase planning and advanced work packaging before there was work-phase planning and advanced work packaging. He has been instrumental in helping CII move forward initiatives, providing intellectual property to CII that could be shared by everyone. He's really is a global leader in AWP. He's worked on helping projects all over the globe, especially North America, but other parts as well. And again, when the nomination came in, I backed off and said, I'm not going to be involved. But we got a judging panel together, and we had 3 different judges look at it, and they all said, well, of course. No question. He is deserving. So the 3 winners that we have this year for the individual awards, it was always unanimous, and there was no question that we were picking the right person. We had some other nominations, and they were very good, but they just didn't have maybe the experience, maybe the length of time in. But in the case of the 3 winners, they did. So Ted, come on up. We'd love to hear from you. Go ahead.
All right. So when Lloyd asked me to come up and say a few words, I chuckled and I thought, yeah, that's not going to be easy. You know, for those that you know me, I'm a talker. I like to get up there and talk. This event, I don't think I'm presenting one time, but I'm really glad to be on stage. Now, seriously, I'd like to thank everyone here in the audience. And I'd also like to thank people that aren't here, but were in previous AWP conferences. It's been 15 years. I've been to every conference, minus the one we had to attend virtually because of COVID. And so it's been a great journey. And you know, I think the people in construction, one of the reasons that many of us have joined the industry is we like to see great things be built. And I'd say it's not easy to change an entire industry. We're almost there. I think we've made the inroads, and we're now on the map of PMI, where AWP's become a recognized best practice, not only promoted by CII, but also now within the Project Management Institute. You can get registered certification in AWP. That's something. It's on the map globally. We're seeing the adoption drive globally. And it was inspiring to hear a young leader get up on stage and say, I've got an AWP dream. That means something. And so again, I'd just like to thank everybody that's helped to build this great community. We like to see things built. We've built something great. Let's keep it going.
Let's put that down. Oh, you want? Thank you. Well, I got to say, this is the project-based award. And you'll notice that I did the innovation award first, then the individual, and now I'm coming back to the project-based award. And I've mentioned several times that we had multiple judging panels. And we made a point of having different judges look at each of the award categories. So you may be a little surprised, but the winner for Major Project Award this year is CCC again. And Waleed, could you please come back? The challenges that Waleed talked about, being a giga project, being logistical challenges, they had them all. And they gave us a brilliant write-up of what they did. It was very detailed, told us exactly what they achieved, how they achieved it, who they worked with to get it. And I was surprised when they won both awards. They kind of sweeped things this year, but extremely well deserved. And we had some other projects that were nominated, but what can I say? This was the best one. So I'm gonna let Waleed comment a bit more.
Well, that's surprising, actually, Lloyd. Yeah, but thank you so much. And thank you for the judging panel. And lucky, like we are as CCC, we are extremely delighted to be present here and to present our case study. And definitely this is a recognition for us to know that we are on the right track and we are contributing actually not only internally or regionally, but globally. And definitely, as I stated during the panelist and in my presentation, we'd like to contribute it because we believe in it and we believe it's the right way to have a proper project delivery in an efficient manner. And this is more like into sustainability and growth. And this is, I believe, with this idea, we are all aligned. Thank you so much, all right, for this surprising, overwhelming, but really, really appreciated to be recognized in this fashion. Thank you so much, Lloyd.
Thank you. Could do that. Okay, well, that's all the trophies. But one of the things that we felt was very important, and I've got to credit Robin Mickelson with this because it was Robin's idea that if we really want to get future leaders engaged, if we really want to get them involved, we should recognize them. And so he was the one that proposed, well, let's get a scholarship going for future leaders and for women in construction. And then the next step was, well, we got to name the awards after somebody, and we have to really get the right people. We need to get people that are shining stars in the industry. And so Robin did that too. And then he allowed me to put my name on it as well, which I thought was quite nice of him. So Robin, you want to come up and take over?
All right, thank you very much, Lloyd. So as Lloyd mentioned, AWP University is very proud to be co-sponsor of the scholarships for this year. Next year we'll be doing it again, and I'll speak about that in a moment. With our Future Leaders programs and Women in Construction, it's extremely important that we help to drive forward, incentivize, and help to recognize people in the industry to bring them forward into this industry that seems to be having a big brain drain. And we're doing our best to help support and bring that forward with the AWP University. So at this time, what I want to do is I want to invite our sponsors for the scholarships. We're down one sponsor. We're hoping he's going to run in here at the last last minute, but Jan and John, please join me on stage. So as was mentioned, in order to really drive forward how we incentivize and how we start to inspire our young leaders in construction, we found that one of the biggest things to do that was those people that know what it's all about. Those people that have been leaders in the industry need to be involved. So I solicited these amazing individuals to join us in this sponsorship of our young people and women in construction to help them to learn and have somebody to call when they want to understand what it is that they can do in the industry, how their career can be driven forward, and what maybe, if all of you thought about it, when you first started, you had that one person you could call that could give you direction. These people were gracious enough to offer those services to our award recipients tonight. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our sponsors to actually recognize the individuals who were these scholarship award winners this year. So with that, let me make sure I give the right one. Jan, we will start with you. All right. Thank you very much. I think it's Jan.
That's what the slide in front says. Hopefully it says that on the side too. Wonderful. Well, it's my, first of all, thank you, Robin, and Lloyd for selecting me to be able to present this honor. And it is a privilege to name Lorena Carvalho as this year's award winner for the Women in Construction Scholarship. Lorena, yay! Lorena is amply qualified. She is a civil engineer with an MBA with an emphasis in project management. She has 2 years of experience working in monitoring and preventing natural disasters, 2 years in actual field construction work, supervising and planning from the field, and then another 2 years working with her current company, Vail, in advanced project planning for large-scale industrial capital projects. In her award submission, Lorena said her interest in AWP and why she wanted this scholarship opportunity was because she believed that AWP was essential in delivering better, safer projects with higher quality and results. So I cannot think of a better testament to AWP and think that she'll serve us very, very well with her increased education. I had the chance to chat with Lorena last week. She's not able to be with us tonight. She's located in Brazil, but she's very excited and she cannot wait to get started. She's already taken prereqs for the courses, so she's off and ready to start. The last thing I wanted to put in a plug, I know that there were a lot of competing forums. If you didn't have a chance to attend the Women in Construction Forum earlier today, we'd love to have you join us if you are a woman in construction, or if you would like to be an ally of women in construction or sponsor women from your companies. We'd love to have you join. We're working to get an Aventry sign-up so that you can do that. Otherwise, you know what I look like. You know what Deb McNeil, what Annabella Martin and Amy Marks all look like, and Brandy Acoin. Please come approach one of us and we'll get you signed up. Lorena is a charter member with the group. Congratulations, Lorena.
All right. Thank you very much, Jan. All right. So, unfortunately, duty calls. Mr. Jay Moser, who's been here all day, the one time we're calling him to the stage and he's not able to. Those of you who have been to our conferences many times understands that Jay Moser is often on this stage. But right now, to present his own award, he's not. So I will, in his stead, hopefully present with some vigor for it. If not, he will hopefully join us during this award presentation to go through. Jay's choice was Aaron Selnick. He was Jay's choice due to several reasons, mostly because, as I mentioned, when it comes down to choosing who you want to mentor and who you think is fitting in the industry, Jay felt that this young gentleman suited Jay's experience and that Jay could best bring him forward into the industry and mentor him in a means that would be most memorable to both of them in his decision to choose Aaron. So with that, I would like you all to cheer and congratulate Aaron in his award of this. We will be sending him his award also. Thank you. All right, so thank you very much with that. With that, we will go to Mr. Fish.
Thank you, Robin. It's a great honor to have my name on a piece of paper, by the way. But anyway, Daniel Sapiro, he's Brazil's got something going for it. You know, he's also from Brazil, by the way. So looks like some pretty interesting things going on down there. One reason we picked him, I highlighted some things in his submission. Number one, of course, he's an AWP champion. He works for Marine Partners in Brazil. Got several degrees, but the main thing is he liked AWP in a holistic project view that takes into consideration the needs of life cycle. And I thought that was pretty unique. So he's looking at the whole banana here. And of course, he had the word passionate in there. Anytime somebody's passionate about something, then I'm passionate about being their mentor. That's for sure. He mentioned innovation, and of course, most of you know me. I'm the world's oldest millennial. So innovation is my sideline. You know. So he also talked about project planning at AWP, and his goal in life is to be an international AWP implementation expert or contact. So I thought that was a pretty high ideal. So for that, I think he deserved this award. And I feel proud to be a mentor. We've already had some contact. Maybe we can get these two guys together. Bring them both. Maybe we can go to Brazil, Jan. How's that?
I like how you're thinking.
Okay. All right. Thank you all.
All right, thank you very much. Scholarship for next year. Let's talk about that for just a quick moment. We have a very esteemed group that's going to take over the mentorship for our scholarships next year. So I just want to acknowledge those volunteers that have come forward. Miss Deb McNeil will be the Women in Construction Scholarship sponsor for next year. Thank you very much, Deb. Then, of course, a name that needs no introduction in this room, as he just got a great introduction, Mr. Ted Blackman. And then, of course, another gentleman who needs no introduction, Mr. Jeff Ryan, will be our third sponsor for next year's scholarship awards. So with that, AWP University, along with ASI and the sponsorship of this, is very proud to be able to award these individuals with these scholarships. They will be mailed the scholarships. Unfortunately, they weren't able to join us here in person, but they were given access remotely. So I'm hoping that they're watching now and can actually see us speaking about them most positively. So with that, I'll give the mic back to Lloyd, and thank you all. The scholarships for next year will open in April. We'll be taking applications at that point. There were several hundred applicants this year. I imagine next year is going to be quite a bit more than that. So all of you, I would hope that you would inspire your own young leaders and women within construction to join the scholarship program next year. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Robin. I know we mentioned it, but I really have to stress, when you look at what the scholarship entails, you get about $4,500 worth of AWP training, which I think is very valuable. You get this conference on demand in their case. But the third thing you get is you get the mentorship. And really, I think that's the most valuable of the three. I mean, if I had to choose, it'd be tough, because I know the quality of the training that AWP University does, but I also know the quality of these three people, the third of which is now going to speak.
Oh, sorry, I was in another meeting. I apologize, but not sure what all was said. But yeah, I agree. This is something new for us, right? The individual that was selected for this award that I essentially got named for, I'm not sure why, but was from ENKA, is the largest construction company in Turkey. And he's got a BS in civil engineering from Sakarya University. He's done advanced work packaging, IWP development. His name's Aaron Selick. Okay, there he is. So we know we went through, I don't know how many applicants, but the process was, I thought, this first annual, right? I thought it was pretty thorough. the information that at the end of the day, got to look at was, very stripped of any personal information. I had no picture. I had no race, color, religion, any information like that. It was like, here's where I worked, here's what I've done. And the ambition that I have as my career for AWP, for construction, whatever it may be. And so it was a good selection, and I thought the process went very well. I wanted to give some accolades to Robin for working this, because it is important. And I think the mentorship side of that, having to take the time to do it, will be serving to the individual as well as the communities. So thanks, Robin.
Thank you, Jay. So one of the things that I didn't mention, we also have an award for small projects, small being 100 million and under. Only in our industry would that be considered small. And we did get a nomination for that award, but the judges were given strict instructions. We don't care if there's 50 nominations or if there's one. Only give out the award if it's deserved. And while the small project that we were provided with was very interesting and had some positive aspects to it, the judges said it's just not mature enough. There's just not enough detail. Down the road, we think they may win, but for this year, we're going to have to pass on handing out the Small Projects Award. I think that's what we have to do. We have to identify what good is and not accept anything that hasn't hit that level. So we're not giving out a Small Project Award this year, but we will, I hope, have one for next year. A couple of things I'd like to ask. One, in this room we have an incredible amount of knowledge and talent. If you're working on a project and you believe that project hits that high standard, please nominate yourself, your project, for the award next year, because this is going to be necessary if we want to keep moving things in the right direction. The second is the leadership awards. I didn't mention this, but you cannot nominate yourself for a leadership award. You have to be nominated by somebody else. And we have, I think, been very, very fortunate. These are the 9, we now have 9 winners of the Leadership Award. And I truly believe that every year we pick the right people. And we will continue to do that. I want to talk about one thing before we take our break. We have a Capital Projects Leadership Forum on Thursday. It's invitation only, and we're going to be talking about 3 issues that we think are pretty critical for capital projects leaders. 1, how do we leverage technology? I think I mentioned before, in the construction industry, we've seen a 1% improvement in productivity through the use of technology. Compare that to everybody else, and it's 2.4. Compare that to manufacturing, and it's 3.6. So as good as we are in the construction industry, there is a lot of opportunity for us to get better. How do we do that? That's what we'll be talking about on Thursday. Secondly, project delivery. When we first started using AWP, it was pretty much on big projects. Now, we're finding that it's being used across entire portfolios. And one of the things that we found is we've got some great success stories, but even within the same organizations, we've also got some pretty unsuccessful stories. So how do we standardize? How do we get those consistent results? That's what we'll be talking about at the Leadership Forum. Finally, if 41% of the construction industry is going to be retiring in the next 7 years. How do we address that? One of the things that we keep hearing is, well, we just have to hire more people. There's going to be more projects than we've ever seen. We have a brain drain, has been said several times. That's not going to be good enough. Well, we could use technology. That's a great piece of the puzzle. We could use lean. That's a great piece of the puzzle too. We could use AWP. We could use project production management. But how do we combine all those things together to try and address that problem that we're going to be facing? So that's the third challenge we're going to be addressing on Thursday. We already have quite a few people that have registered. We're sticking hard to the fact that we're only allowing 50 people to come because we want to make it small. We want to make it a good networking experience. So if you have not signed up and you're interested, please reach out to myself or to Lisa, and we will get you registered for that event. We've finished the formal part of today, but we have a couple of things coming up. One, you'll see our band is set up, and we've got some musicians from the audience that are going to be joining them. And I think we're going to have some fun. We also have drink tickets, and the bars are going to be setting up right now so that we'll be able to enjoy the next couple of hours. And what I want to hear from you before I switch to that, how's it been so far? Highlights, lowlights, sidelights, whatever. How do you feel about day one? I know I already thanked them, but I've got to say, I attended the Women in Construction session. And normally I wouldn't talk about a specific session, but these people need to be acknowledged. You know how many people there were on the Women in Construction group when we started? 4. Jen, how many are there now? 40. Any guess how many we're going to have in another 6 months? 80. So the Women in Construction group, I did the smart thing. Being a guy, I said, you guys get together, do your work, and then call me in about a month. And I got to admit, I was kind of blown away because I thought, well, you know, they're at 4, they'll be at 8. They were at 40. And I went to their session today, and they are a force to be reckoned with. We also have a future leaders think tank, and we are working to get younger people excited about the construction industry. So one of the things I'd like you to do is just look around the room. Those of you who have been to a number of our events, one of the things you're probably noticing is we were talking about an event that was run a year ago, and we had about 4 women out of 250 people. I think we've seen a big increase there. We always have been successful getting senior management to come to our events, but we have more potential future leaders at this event than I think we've ever had before. So we're making changes, we're trying to address what's needed for the industry, but this is a community that we're trying to create, an AWP community, and we're trying to move the industry. And over the last 15 years, that's what we've been trying to do. It's not just about getting bums in seats. It's not just about doing a presentation or two. It's about having a plan for what we want the industry to be and then trying to change it.